I just want to ask you about comments made a couple weeks ago by the NDP's health critic, Don Davies. He said that the proposed inquiry are an example of the Conservatives wanting to play political games with a partisan pandemic panel led by you. Just like to get your comments on what you think of that, and if this is a partisan pandemic panel, in your opinion.
Well, we're doing everything we can to make it not so. The invitation for commissioners, for example, is extended to anybody. There's no partisan criteria there. And the measures that I've mentioned are to endeavor to make sure this is as non-skewed and non-biased as possible. What is interesting, one of the signs that the time to do something is right is when a number of people come to similar conclusions. The NDP federal critic, while he got on in partisan remarks, they called for a federal inquiry into the COVID business. Dr. Tam, 6 weeks ago, said that her agency would welcome further questions on this. There's a Liberal backbencher, I believe, that has a private members bill calling for an inquiry. So there's a number of people calling for inquiry. Most of these calls are for the government itself to hold the inquiry, which has problems with respect to a slant, because you're asking the governments to investigate themselves. So what we're saying is this would, the best chance of this being as impartial as possible if it's independently led, citizen-led, not led by either by the government or by the opposition parties. And the other point, a lot of the discussion on COVID is let's apply the scientific method to these problems. The scientific method says experiment, go and do the thing, and then judge it on the basis of the evidence produced. Don't speculate in advance. To prejudge is actually, the root of the words is same as prejudice. Don't prejudge this thing. Let's go and do it. And then at the end decide whether was this subjectively conducted or was it skewed or not.